No, it's hard. I feel like it's hard to get energy for this one.
Yeah.
Like I know everyone was like, oh, happy with the point. I'm not. Like, and
Really?
It's not to be like that guy.
That's how I feel that way, though.
There's just too many chances for us to win it.
Like,
even excluding the Medina chance at the end.
Yeah.
Like, Tati should have scored multiple times.
Let me play the defense for all the people that are happy with a point. So the only reason I feel that way, I think a lot of people were surprised to see the lineup drop and to not see Maxi or Alfredo in it. We're kind of one of those teams like the Patriots where you find out that players are out when the lineup drops an hour before the game, which it sucks, but I don't know, tactics-wise, maybe that messes up, if Orlando had just game planned for Maxi, which would be the smart thing to do. To see he's not on the field, maybe that messes with them. But to see Maxi and Alfredo out, two people who have, really run this team, if you could pick two people to run the team, I kind of expected the worst, to be honest with you. And yeah, we came out with a point.
But at the same time, like missing Morales really, like, it is huge because we saw how good he was last week. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, that was his first start.
Yeah.
And so we can't really expect him to play week in, week out yet.
Right.
And as far as Maxi, we've been screaming for a replacement or a second option for him for a very long time.
Yeah.
So, like, we should, if we didn't do that, then we should have had a plan for when he's not in there. And so that's why I'm not necessarily buying into like Maxi wasn't there. It's like, yeah, we should have planned for that. Mm-hmm. There should be a plan for that. And we should be able to win games without him.
And it's like Alfredo almost is supposed to be the plan, right?
Yeah.
And it's
and you don't want to put too much on like single players, but like I was telling you, Sean Johnson has 4 points on his head. It is what it is.
Yeah, I think it was.
And there's no excuse for the Nani one. Like, that's just positioning.
I think even it was either Twelman or the guy with him in the booth is like, haven't you watched like 10 years worth of film
that's
on
all he
Nani?
does.
Like, haven't you watched that? Like before, like even just
Literally.
as a fan of soccer, like haven't you known that?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was one thing I definitely want to talk about was like, how do you just not know, man? Like the positioning with Sean
but
sometimes
to just be so
is just
grounded.
so weird to me. Like, and I'm not sure like what the disconnect is.
The weird thing to me,
it's tough.
And this is a lot coming from us, from one of us too, is like Chanot was kind of scapegoated for that goal. When they were showing the replays, it's like Chanot should have stepped forward in this moment. It's like he's 10 yards away.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You can't do that FIFA glitch in real life.
Chanot isn't fast to begin with. I don't think the fastest person on our team would have closed that gap.
No, nobody is closing that gap.
And so to blame Chanot for not running to the top of the box to get in front of a shot,
it's sort of like what was it, week 1 against DC, I think, where positioning was just such an issue with the two goals that they scored. It's the exact same thing here. It's still Nani pulling up and like he's hitting that ball as well as he can, but it's definitely not unsavable.
Yeah.
So
and like I said, Tati got his goal with the PK, but at the end of the day, he should have had a Hattie. My
thing with that, though, the only reason why I can see where you're coming from. Like, it sucks not to leave with 3 points when you see Tati missing, like 4 or 5 yard goals, and then you see Medina at the end have that breakaway with the last possession to try to score. But we also could have got scored on a lot.
I don't think they created that many chances.
They created I'd say they created as many as us.
I would say in the first half, we were talking about, I was kind of waiting to get scored on.
Yeah, we put it on Twitter.
That second half, bro, it was all us.
Yeah, we started playing them off the field, but that first half, like some of the dudes that they have, man, like Ruan is scary. I think is it Osorio or Sario?
Osorio, something like that.
I don't know. He has the braids, the cornrows or whatever. I can't remember his name.
I think it's Osorio.
But they just have some killers on that team, and like I genuinely think in that first half they could have put like 3 by us, and I wouldn't have been surprised. But our defense tightened it up in the second half.
Well, it got hard too because Tennerholm went down, and that's a whole nother story. What's happening with him.
Yeah, I think it's almost even like a very mini story to see Ibiaga come in as the replacement for Tennerholm too instead of Tavon.
Well, I think that's kind of been normal. That's been normal over the past, I'd say, like year. Is Ibiaga, but you would think we bring in 3 left backs and not 1 right back to cover
Yeah.
For if Tinnerholm goes down.
Well, it seems like Tavon is that answer, right? But
he, honestly speaking, Tavon in the game in Cincy looked really out of it, like really out of the moment. Like you can see players come on when they're young and take the moment and go head on. It was like the opposite.
Yeah.
Like he
was like, oh, this is happening.
Not to say like his whole performance was bad.
Yeah.
Because he did put in like some decent crosses. I know there was one that found Trotty or something like that.
Yeah, he was much better offensively than he was defensively.
Yeah, because defensively he was snoozing. Like Chanot was probably having a fit.
Absolutely. But I would say at least this game, Chanot is looking good. To come back from, do you know what an abductor is? To me, that's just like
something, or I don't honestly.
That's like when the aliens come.
I'm not a Scientologist. I have no idea.
But all of a sudden, Chanot. I mean, it might be an adductor. I've never heard of this body part. Abductor.
Hip.
But
I think it's hip related.
We lost Chanot to that last week, and now I think that's what Morales is.
Oh, and it miraculously hurt again for 2 seconds with Collins, and then got fixed again.
Yo, let's talk about that absolutely embarrassing moment.
That was I was so embarrassed. I think my face literally actually turned red.
Yeah.
Why did I type Chanel?
That was horrible.
We don't talk
We just
about
embarrassed ourselves on ESPN of all channels.
And also both of them
games.
admitting in that moment that we're kind of playing for a
draw. It was just so tough. It's like, dude, neither of them knew they were both facing opposite ways and they both lay down. I cannot believe that.
But to go back, I mean, I feel like we've been saying this for so many episodes in a row. If our team could lift the ball when we shoot, we would have won that game.
Yep.
And many others.
Although we cannot knock Galese for that save. I've never seen a man make himself
so big.
But
I feel like it was more like, yes, it was a great play by him, but like he was just doing what he can.
Yeah.
Whereas Medina, like, I forgot which announcer was saying it. It might have been Twelman. Basically, he's like, bro, he's been running for 90 minutes. Like, it's so hard to do that. Like, yes, you should have. He had to be perfect, essentially.
Yeah.
And he wasn't. So you can't really hate Medina.
He also had a man on his back too. Like that's.
Yeah, it was tough. And like obviously he knows there's no
it's the
time
94th
left.
minute or whatever.
But who was that? I think it was Acevedo who to me that pass saved his game rating for me.
Yeah,
because up to that point.
But then, dude, for Tati to not finish that like that.
I don't know how he doesn't chip it.
This is exactly the thing that we're talking
about. Like, he doesn't lift the ball.
The poster situation of, hey, strikers, lift the ball for us.
Yes.
It's like... And
2 goals if we lift the ball.
Yeah.
And a win.
It's just too much. It's too much. But that, like you said, that Acevedo ball was incredible.
Oh, yeah. That ball, both of them, to Tati and Medina.
Yeah.
Were world class. And like, up, other than those 2 moments, I felt like he struggled in the game a little bit.
Yeah. Although I almost get the same vibe that you were talking about Tavon with Acevedo.
What, that he's better offensively?
No, just that when it comes to like, well, not even that, you know, like the
that he gets a little, like,
regular
frazzled.
season game of,
yeah.
But is the moment. But it's like, I don't know if he gets into his head like, oh, it's my debut start and like all this stuff, because it's like we always talk about with the handball against, I think it was Toronto or whatever last season. Like he just kind of ends up in these weird situations.
Yeah.
And he gets caught out, and something ends up being his fault, and it kind of just takes him over mentally.
Right.
And it's just a little overwhelming for him, but he's still like a young kid. Like,
yeah, it's clear at least from that game that he's got talent, and like, now it makes sense why he's here.
We didn't even lose that much class starting Acevedo over Alfredo or Maxi, to be honest.
Right, but at the end of the day, like there's parts of his game, like there's a couple of balls he passed and it was straight to Orlando players, like little mental mistakes where he's overthinking it.
Yep.
Tighten those up and he's class.
That's the Keaton agenda. Passing balls right to the other team.
Ripping shots.
That's what it's like being Keaton these days.
Ripping shots into who knows where.
It's just like,
dude,
it's getting to
not
a point,
even to hate on him. Like not even to hate on him, but like he is too tall to be missing headers. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
There was one that literally
no one
just went
taller
over
on the
his
pitch.
head, and I was
although
like,
Orlando has some
aren't
tall
you 7 foot tall?
Yeah, it's crazy. And we were like, I don't know if it was, I don't think it was Cincy we were talking about, because he had that abysmal thing where he like kicked inside the box right to a Cincy player, and Chanel had to come and like dive to save our lives and save our clean sheet. But I think it was the game before that we were like giving him a little bit of praise, but like out of the 4 games, like there's been one where it's like I'm sort of okay with Keaton starting on this team.
I don't know.
Which is like, you can't be batting
250. Bro, because like
if
you're saying what's the one thing he needs to work on, you can't pick just one. You're like, I think he would need this more.
Yeah.
Maybe this more. I don't know.
Especially when you look at the players on our team now.
Yeah.
You know, last season, I mean, it's easy to get by when it's like, am I gonna play DeRoche, Keaton, or Hack?
Yeah.
You gotta go with Keaton just simply based off the fact that you bought the guy. Mm-hmm. But now, as we bring in like Morales, you know, Maxi is back full time if he's not injured, and Acevedo is playing like this, bro, it's gonna get tough.
I don't know. I think there's a place for Keaton in our team, and it's like
that's crazy for you to hear that. Right? That is so crazy.
I think the place for him in our team is we're playing some mid-level team, and Tati's out for whatever reason. Bear's out for whatever reason, and you just you throw him up there simply to just pelt crosses at his head. Not
the angle I was expecting.
Just pelt crosses at his head
from you,
and hope for the best.
But I'll accept that over you saying like a starting.
He used to play striker.
Over a starting midfield position, I'll accept that first.
Yeah, you just put a tree in the center of the field and pelt crosses at his head.
Yeah. Other than that, maybe we could talk a little bit about like our left back situation, because we saw Malt come in, I think it was like 70-ish minutes, something like that, and then Goody, you know, for the first half before Malt came in. Like, what did you think? I feel like there was not much to write home about in either of the players there. I remember like maybe that, you know, there was a good ball or two from Malt, but nothing, you know, spectacular.
I think Malt was getting into it. The thing with Thor just wasn't in a rhythm really, and like
it's just so weird after the Cincy game, right? It's like
well, but Twelman was saying too, not to quote him 19 times in this, but he's like Thor's just not interested in defending at all.
Yeah, 100%.
Like at all, and so you're kind of game planning for. That's why I'm fearful that Tennerholm's gonna be out for a while.
Yeah,
because we will not survive as a team with Thor and Gray. Callens and Chanel will die on the field.
Yeah, 100%. And
we'll have to play 5 in the back.
Yeah,
with Sands. There's no other way.
Yeah, one thing that I was trying to figure out a way to like tweet it and keep it under 140 characters. I was like, I'll just save it for the podcast. But like Ruan and Thor were having like a battle to see who could get farther up the field while completely just caring as little as possible about their defensive duties. Like not even considering it a part of the game. Because like it was funny, the same thing was happening on the same side of the field, but with Ruan.
Yeah.
Like the dude has pace for days and could get up the field, but it's like, God forbid if we attack that side of the field with Ruan, we're gonna get like a ball through there. So it was funny to like see another team have like the same exact issue as us.
Dude, but Shradi, I feel like Shradi was the unsung hero of that game.
Dude, Shradi.
Like Tati got all the headlines.
Yeah.
Shradi was the guy.
Not to steal what you texted me, but Shradi is so silky, bro.
He's silky.
Like,
bro, he's
Shradi
silky.
Ball, bro. He is so.
There was that time
so
he had like 4 defenders around him and just got through all of them.
Diced all of them and then just
played a ball.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
He's looking so good, bro. Imagine a Izzy that could play 90 minutes.
I'm waiting for that.
like, bro, how do you spell Messi, bro? There's
gotta put
an ISI in Messi.
They gotta legalize doping to make his legs better. They really do.
We have to bring in a stem.
I'll donate my legs, bro. I promise you.
I think it must be like cardio too.
No, he's probably better off with his legs than mine.
Yo, I don't know though. I don't know. I'm not even gonna get into you and what you believe your body can do physically, based on what it used to be able to do 6 years ago.
Look,
I don't want to talk
I just
about
think
this.
that I could play 45 in
no shot. No way,
I believe it in my heart.
Wait till Bro, who?
Wait till summer league and we're dying and throwing
I was
up
gonna
on the
say,
field.
wait till somebody puts a shoulder on your chest, bro, and you're at New York Presbyterian. I mean, they're putting you down for a week or something.
Oh man, just put me out with those bills.
Yeah,
pull me out.
Yo, the health isn't even a factor. The bills, it's like you're done, bro.
I saw this tweet that said
They're gonna ask. They're gonna call me and they're gonna be like, "Yeah, like, so should we try to work on him, or we just pull the plug?" And be like, "I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Yo, just yank the plug. Yank the plug."
Somebody said that hospital bills aren't real. That if you just ignore them, they'll never call
That's
you.
just not true.
It is.
That person is in federal prison right now.
They said don't answer calls. It's not gonna affect your credit. It's gonna go away. Oh, all right.
I don't think
believe
that's
it.
real. I hope that's real because I don't know. I'm not getting into American politics, right? But that man is definitely in federal prison with a credit score to like -4 right now.
Probably
100%.
the first negative credit score.
Oh.
But
Anyways.
Toronto,
Yeah.
it's always a tough game with Toronto, no matter what
Yeah.
their team's looking like. It's always a tough game. They're always up for it.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention this time they're like we beat them at the last game that we went to.
At Rensselaer.
Right. And but at the end of the day, like they're not traveling right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no travel or anything.
Yeah.
So like they've just been here.
Yeah. I
They're
mean,
gonna come to play.
It's a tough team always. Toronto will always be a tough team. They're always going to be, one of the top in the East.
They were training in Florida and like with the alligator on the pitch and everything. I don't know. It's gonna be a tough game. I think it's gonna be our toughest yet. Personally, no shade to Orlando. But
also all the shade to Orlando.
Yeah, because they were chanting that we have no history while also being
is so weird to me.
inaugurated the same exact year as us.
Yeah, and like made the playoffs way less
One
than
time
us.
in 6 seasons.
Never really finished.
And we've not
higher
ever
than
not
us.
made the playoffs, I think. I could be wrong. Maybe our first couple seasons we didn't. Who knows? Who
I'd
cares?
definitely rather make them and lose than never make them.
That's facts. Many facts.
Yeah.
Anyways, I feel like we should get out of here. Next
Yep.
week, we'll be here again.
Yeah, talking about
And
Toronto.
this time I think I'm going to get the outro correct.
And do you wait? I got one question for you. Do you think we're gonna get points from Toronto?
It's going to be tough.
I'm gonna be honest. I think being at home gives us a big edge.
I do
Having
too.
fans back in the stadium. I think the longer the season goes on, the more we're gonna see more people in the building, especially playing like we're playing. We're top of the East, bro.
Yeah.
You know that? We're first.
I didn't look. I don't
Hey,
like
we're
looking.
first.
I don't like looking.
We might be tied for first, but we're first.
I just think that it's a tough game.
It's a tough
and
game.
our fans have to be up for it if we're going to use
Hey.
the home field advantage.
Yeah, it's tough to come into the first in the East Stadium and beat them. I don't know where it was. I would call them out.
Waffling.
Let's just wrap it up.
Wrap her up.
We'll talk
I'm gonna
to you
get
guys
this
after
outro
Toronto.
correct. Not the intro, the outro correct.
Yep.
Post 90, all platforms. Follow us there. We live tweet.
Yep.
See you boys next week.
Yeah, we'll see ya.
Peace.